worked for like a big AT&T retailer for 5 years or so, and led a 50-person sales team. And I did sales training and recruiting and hiring. So back in 2021, I was like, hey, I want to start something on the side, start earning some side income. And I decided I wanted to start a podcast again, because I had shut down my older podcast there, and it wasn't going so well. Starting a podcast, it was kind of struggling a little bit. So I joined this podcast mastermind group, and a guy that I met in this podcast mastermind group started to learn a little bit more about me and what I do and my knowledge base. And he goes, I don't know. He's like, stop podcasting right now and become a coach. Start coaching people on some of the things that you have a ton of experience and knowledge on. So beginning of 2022, I started a coaching business, and basically pulling from the two things that I knew best: how to grow organically on social media and how to sell, and combining those two things. And since I had a job at the time, I was working for a pretty big company, paychecks. I couldn't really start posting my content on LinkedIn, so I started building my brand on Instagram. And I started creating content, again, just talking about sales and how to use social media to create sales and build a brand, attract new clients. And sure enough, within 9 months, I had enough coaching revenue coming in to leave my full-time job and become a full-time coach and content creator. So kind of brings me to where I am now in my business, so after I left my job, which was in September of last year, I had a whole new marketing channel that I can use that I wasn't able to use before while I was still an employee. And that marketing channel was LinkedIn. And the moment that I added LinkedIn into my world, into my content strategy, into my marketing strategy as a marketing channel, my entire business changed. Because a lot of the B2B people that I was networking with were interested in how I was doing so well on LinkedIn. And I just started to create more content on LinkedIn and get more clients on through LinkedIn. And I have made this pivot in my business, like I was talking about, where LinkedIn is the ice cream now. And I have a few different flavors that I offer, but my entire business is around how to build a brand, find the right people, and start converting them from casual connections into paying clients for your business. And that's what I help people do. And what I wanted to review with you all here today is just some basics on LinkedIn. And then I actually wanted to walk through a little bit about how to find the right target market that you are looking for on LinkedIn. Because that's one of the biggest objections that I have, or that I hear, or one of the biggest frustrations that people have is they don't know how to find their ideal clients on LinkedIn, or they don't believe that their ideal clients are on LinkedIn. And you need Sales Navigator in order to be able to do the right targeting and find the people that I want. You don't need Sales Navigator. Your clients are definitely on LinkedIn. And I'm going to show you a couple of different cool outside of the box methods to find them. So I'm going to share my screen with you here. And all right. So 4 keys to success on LinkedIn. So number 1 is everything starts with your profile. If your profile is not clear about what you do, who you help, how you help them, there's no reason for you to put in any other work on LinkedIn at all. Because the first thing that people do when you catch their interest is they go to visit your profile. And even when you Google yourself, like even if you Google yourself, typically the first thing that pops up when you Google yourself is your LinkedIn profile. So a lot of times your LinkedIn profile is your first impression. Most of the time, your LinkedIn profile is your first impression. Even networking, when you go through, you're doing networking meetings and somebody refers you to somebody, and the first thing that people do is go look up your LinkedIn profile. They want to see what you've been up to. They want to see what you do. They want to see what you're all about. And if you have a website, that's important too. But your LinkedIn profile is right up there, and depending on what industry you're in, I would say that sometimes your LinkedIn profile trumps your website as the number 1 place that people will go to learn about you and your business. They're pretty much right there, 50-50. So as far as where you need to start is with optimizing your profile to the audience that you want to attract, and being very specific about who you serve and what outcome you get for those people that you serve. So when people go and visit your profile, it makes them want to connect. It makes them want to be curious about you and what you do and what kind of offers you have. Then the next piece of the LinkedIn puzzle here is your content. So what are you sharing on LinkedIn? And my entire LinkedIn strategy that I work with people on is a content-based system. It is a system where people create posts and they create content that is designed specifically to pique the curiosity of the people that you want to target, of your potential customers. And if your content is creating curiosity around your products and services, the first thing people are going to then do is then go back to your profile, which brings me back to why I'm saying how important your LinkedIn profile is. Now, the biggest mistake that I see business owners making on LinkedIn or any other social media platform is that they think, I'm just going to put out a bunch of content and people are going to find me. And that would be awesome, right? That would be amazing if you put out a bunch of content and your content goes viral and that's it. Your people are coming in and inquiring and doing their thing, but it's not the case. In order for you to amplify your message, you need to complement your content and you need to capitalize on your content. And the way that you amplify your message and the way that you capitalize on your content is by building a community of people that support your business. So peers, friends, family, people that they may not be buyers, but when they see that you post something, they hit like, they write a nice comment. And every time people write a comment or they like a post or whatever, it is feeding the algorithm to show your posts to more people. So, and then with content, you've got these people, now you've got the right people seeing your content. And you're building this community, and you're connecting, and you're reaching out, and you're finding the right people, and you're reaching out and connecting them with them, and you're bringing them into your community. And if you are going to take the time and effort to create content and build the community, then you need to use that community. You need to start conversations with them. So has anyone ever heard the more hands you shake, the more money you make? Right.
It's a numbers game.
That's right. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. So the more people that you have in your community that you are actually starting conversations with, the more successful that you are going to be on social media. And this goes for LinkedIn or any platform. So you got your profile, you got your content, you got your community, and then you got the last key piece right there, which is how do we convert? You know, how do we take this community that we're building? How do we take this content that is showing that we are an expert? And how do we turn these casual conversations that we're now having into business conversations? And a lot of times your content is what's going to help fuel the conversions. So when you are creating content that speaks to the ideal audience that you have and the problems that you can solve for that audience, then people are going to be interested about what it is that you do, how you help, what your offers are. And then you have to take notice of when people are interested too, because people will come straight out, flat out and tell you, hey, tell me a little bit more about this. But there will be other people that are more just kind of lurking around. They're liking your posts. Maybe they'll write a comment. Maybe they'll ask you a question. I had a perfect example today. Somebody asked me a question in the comments. They said, oh, I see how you do this and this, but I've tried this and it doesn't work for me. And I write back, okay, cool. Have you ever done this? No. Oh, okay, cool. DM me. So now she DMs me and she says, yeah, I don't know how to do the search the way that you're talking about. It's the search that doesn't work for me. And I said, okay, cool. I shared a video that I made of how to do exactly what she wanted to do. She watched the video. I said, hey, was that helpful? She goes, yes, that was so helpful. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I do a workshop every week where I do strategies just like this one. She's signed up. She's now a monthly recurring client. All because I took the extra, I noticed she was asking a question. She had a reason that she was asking a question. So this is what you can build for yourself with these pieces, with your profile, your content, your community, and knowing how to convert, you can turn these platforms, these social media platforms, you can turn them into a lead generation machine if you do it right. So just going to share, and I kind of went through this already, but this is the journey. People will find your content. They're going to become a little curious. How do I do this? We're going to go into starting conversation with them. And boom, now you've turned them into a client. So, like I said earlier, one of the biggest objections that I get is, I don't know how to find my clients on LinkedIn, or my clients aren't on LinkedIn. Well, if you're saying that your clients are not on LinkedIn, the likelihood is that you are not looking in the right places. And I'm going to show you exactly how to find your specific target client on LinkedIn. And we're gonna do this live. And I'm gonna show you actually 2 different methods to do this. So this method is interesting. And some might even call it a little bit sneaky or controversial. But the one method that you can use is what I call audience jacking. And what audience jacking is, or what it means, is you are going to find a creator, an influencer, somebody who has a large LinkedIn following. And and the following that they have are also the people that you can help. They are the same people that they are your target market. So for me, my target market is coaches. I work with a lot of coaches, helping them grow their business on LinkedIn. So I look at what influencers are these coaches following. So I'm going to find one where I know that a lot of coaches, a person that I know that a lot of coaches are following. And I'm going to go and I'm going to kind of, like I said, start connecting and start building some connections with that person's audience. And again, I'm going to show you live. We'll go in and do this live and show you how this program works here. So let's go into LinkedIn. And so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to find the creator, and I'm going to go with Justin Welsh. Again, Justin Welsh is a large creator. He works with solopreneurs. What does he talk about? He talks about branding, he talks about business, he talks about social media, entrepreneurship. He has the ideal target audience. A lot of his target audience are the people that I want to reach. So the first thing that I'm going to go do right here is I am going to click on this little bell right here in Justin's profile and turn on notifications, so that every time Justin makes a post, I am going to be notified of his post. And the reason that you want to do that is because you want to, when he posts, you want to comment on it. And the reason that you want to comment on it is because if he goes and replies to your comment, then a bunch of other people may see that comment, because Justin gets about 500 comments on every single one of his posts. And people will go down and start reading the comments. And if you can write a comment on Justin's post that adds some value for the audience, you are building rapport and you are building connection without even having to post. So, like I said, I'm going to show you an example of how to do this. So this is his last post here. Was that, you could see he posted this 5 hours ago. Right now is the greatest era of self-promotion in history. The attention economy. More eyeballs mean a better network, better job opportunities, better project opportunities, better income opportunities. Creating your own luck has never been easier. The upside is infinite, while the downside is almost non-existent. So don't be afraid to promote yourself. Be afraid of being unknown. And then he's even got a bonus tip in here, right? And you can see how many people have seen this post. So over 1,000 people have liked it, and 277 people have commented on this. So there's 277 comments on here. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to try to write a comment that's good enough to get noticed by people in my audience, right? So it's amazing how many people feel awkward about promoting themselves. Right? If you are bringing free value by posting on social media, you have earned, I hate this little thing, it's always in my way. You have earned the right to promote yourself and your business. Go out and earn it. Okay, boom.
And notice he put spacing in throughout that.
Yep, always good to have spaces. Makes it easier to read. Anytime you space out your content, it's much easier to read. Look at how he's doing it right here. Here's his 8 tips. Even in his post up here. Look at the way he does this. First line, small line, listicle. They call this a listicle. Every single one of his posts is one line. Every single one of his not every single one of his posts, but every single, he doesn't have anything that's overflows onto 2 lines. It's so simple. It's so easy to read. It's so scannable. That's why he's very good. This guy's very good at creating content. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to look into his comments here. Now, all these people who are commenting are all first level connections of mine. So what I want to do is I want to get down into when there are second level connections of mine. So here's an example of another guy who, look, this guy, he wrote such a good comment that Justin replied back. 11 people liked this comment, 10 other people replied to it. This is basically what this guy just did here, is he tapped into Justin's audience. Now, I'm going to look and see who he is. Look him up. Follow me to make more money per minute. 2023 top coach for entrepreneurs, TEDx speaker. I help founders and business leaders make more money systematically. So I'm going to click follow. I'm not going to turn on notifications for him just yet. I'm going to go under connect. I'm going to add a little personalized note. So I'm going to say, hey, Robert, and I already have my note script ready to go. So it makes it very, very easy here. I just need to copy it in. So all I need to do is Let's copy this in here. Watch. Hey, I found you hanging out in the comments of some of my favorite creators. And then I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to put Justin Welsh so he knows who I'm talking about. Looking to connect, support, and fill my feed with content from more authentic creators. That's why I'm reaching out to you. Best, Danny. Send.
Cool.
All right.
Go.
So
Audience jacking.
audience jacking. So now if you do this, now let's say you go, now let's go back to Justin's post and let's say we do this for 2 people like Justin. You find 2 influencers like Justin. And you do this for anywhere from 5 to 10 people per day. That is an additional 5. And when you do this and you are pretty specific, you're going to get you're probably going to get a 50% connection rate at minimum. So if you do this for 5 to 10 people per day, that's an extra 5 to 10 ideal clients that you are going to it's an extra at least 3 to 5 ideal clients that you are going to connect with every day. If you take the time to do this on a regular basis. Now, I'm going to show you the other method, which is also pretty cool. And the other method that I use is called I call it advanced search. So this is where people think, oh, you need LinkedIn Sales Navigator. No, you don't need LinkedIn Sales Navigator. All you need is regular LinkedIn. Watch, I'm going to show you guys how to do this. I'm going to click the enter button here in the search field. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to write in who I'm searching for. So I'm going to type in coach because I want to find coaches. Actually, does anybody have an ideal client that they want to type in?
Realtors.
Realtors?
You bet.
Okay, so I'm going to type in realtor. Okay. And now I'm going to click on people. Okay, I have almost 2 million realtors here on LinkedIn. All right. So let's filter this down. Okay. Let's do a better, let's get this thing going. So let's go to all filters here. Under the person's title, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And under the title, I'm going to put realtor. Now I'm going to start with second level connections. Now, again, I have about, I have 7,000 connections on LinkedIn. So if you have 700, you may also want to select third. All right. Second level connections are going to be people that you that are connected to somebody that you are connected with. Third level means that you have no affiliation. I like to select second level because there's more, the likelihood of them accepting your connection request is higher. Okay. So let's narrow down your search. That was Eric, right?
Right.
Okay. So Eric, help me narrow down your search.
A certain area or demographics, maybe.
Tell me what you want. You want to do realtors in a certain area?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to location. What's the location that you want?
Katy.
Where?
Katy Fulsher.
Katy, Katy, Texas. That's
K
West Houston.
Katy.
Katy. Katy, Texas. Okay, so we're going to look for realtors in Katy, Texas. Let's just narrow it down that way. Okay, we've got 77 results. So we just took it down from 2 million down to 77. Let's go back in. Let's go back into all filters and let's just choose Houston because I think you're going to get a little bit. It's just going to be a better example. So let's choose.
Danny, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for when you're searching and it says realtors, I guess, could you add like any business?
Yes.
Like, let's say if you say bakery, restaurants, like you could also narrow them down like that?
Yes, absolutely. So now you're, so look, here you've got a whole list of 448 realtors in the Houston, Texas area, okay? Now let's filter it down one step further. Let's go one step further and you see this column, this little box here that says talks about. I'm going to put in that they talk about real estate advice, realtor, talk about Houston. I'm going to click all these boxes, okay? And I'm going to show the results now. And I got 29 results. Now, the reason that I like these 29 results over the other 450 results is because if they have these topics that they talk about in their title, in their profile, that means that they are a more active user on this platform. So these people are going to be more likely that you are going to be able to make a connection to them because they are more active on the platform. So you can use this talk about filter to help you find users that are more active. And start there, because the more active people on the more active they are on the platform, the more likely they are going to be to connect back with you. And now we can do the same thing. We can look up Connie here and we can send Connie a message. We can send her a connection request. So we would just do more connect. I'm not going to connect with realtors, but it could be done. So here's another cool search functionality that you have here. If you go under if you go back to all filters, you can find realtors from Keller Williams. You can find realtors from EXP. You can find realtors from Compass, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. You can filter by past company. You can filter by industry. So if you know who was talking about restaurants and everything before. You could do a search for people in the restaurant industry in Houston, Texas.
I'm looking, for example, I don't know if I didn't do it correctly, but I'm looking for like daycares, because that's one of like our biggest
Daycare, okay.
commercial clients, and it's
Okay,
very
so
specific.
let's go to daycare. All right. Let's go back to the all filters. I'm going to choose second level connections. There's about 171 people that have daycare, that say daycare. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to put in Texas. So let's show the results on daycares in Texas. So we're looking at 171 daycare people in the daycare world in Texas. Again, these are only second level connections of mine. So let's look at if we have third level connections. We have 9,000. Okay, so there's 9,000 people that are in daycare in Texas. All right, let's filter it down further, and let's go to people that talk about childcare, education, and boom, 16 results. These are probably going to be the way more active people on LinkedIn. So this is where I would start. I would start with these 16.
Got it.
So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'm going to share with Coach afterwards here the presentation, which has the instructions on there. So let me just share my screen for one more moment so that you guys can have the I want you to be able to go back and have these instructions here. So let me just share my screen one more time. All right, so this is number one. This is method number one. This shows you how to do the audience jacking. And then this is number two, which shows you how to do the advanced search. Okay, and it's got all the steps nice written out for you here so that you can go ahead and do this.
All right.
All right, so at this point, oh, and I even went into some of the filter options. So again, I'll share this with Coach, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, shoot me a message that way. But yeah, this could be a great tool for to help you find your ideal clients.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Danny. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. There's some
Thank
good
you.
stuff there.
And I wanted to make a comment that I always thought of, because I've been in LinkedIn for several years, but always because for looking for a job. So that was always my my mindset on LinkedIn for me, looking for a job. So if you see my connections, they're all teachers and educators and principals and universities. So I never saw it as a tool to look for clients, like unless, because I've seen several things connecting to me, but it's always looking for me to, obviously, to buy their service, kind of like mental health, that sort of thing, because I'm a educational diagnostician, but I never saw it as for me to looking for clients that, like in this specific business that I'm creating, which is in the educational area.
Yeah, so it's my number one source for lead generation that I use for my business. It's the number one channel where I get most of my clients from. And my number two channel is networking. And my presence on LinkedIn feeds networking and vice versa.
Interesting.
Now,
So
when you say networking, I mean, outside of LinkedIn, what networking do you use?
So, I mean,
Wait.
Coach and I met in a virtual networking community where there's like 1,500 members. So I do a lot of my networking efforts in these virtual communities, or I don't do much in person, just because my business is a little bit better suited to being remote. So I work a lot. So I join virtual networking groups, and my presence on LinkedIn, like I said, it fuels what I do in those virtual networking groups, because when I go and connect with the people in the virtual networking groups and they go and they look up my LinkedIn profile and they see how active I am on there, they become interested. And Coach showed the picture of my LinkedIn profile before. I show up exactly the way I look up my LinkedIn profile.
Yes, I know. I just followed you right now, but I remember seeing your post 2 days ago, I think, and it was because of Coach either reposted or that I saw your comment.
Right.
I can read it to you. It was really good. That's why I was, and it was short and sweet. It was 4 lines. I can read it. It is so that everybody can hear it. How I grew my coaching business from side hustle to 6 figures in 6 months. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah,
Invested in myself, personal brand, discipline, and self-care. And obviously you gave examples. So
I gave elaborated. Yeah. No, I remember that. I remember that post. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot you could do. It could be an amazing lead generation source for your business. It could just be an amazing tool for networking. It's great for building your brand. Like I said, it's helped me to build my brand and get more visibility. I hundreds of thousands of people see my content. So where else can you market yourself for free to hundreds of thousands of people?
Hey, well, thank you, Danny. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Great info. I don't know, other questions or whatever. We're going to take
Yeah, I got one, Coach. Sorry. Hey, Danny, great presentation. I was listening the whole time, and I use social media for our business, and I had a LinkedIn profile from my oil field career, right? But I didn't really use it or capitalize on it once I've opened my own business, right? So I think, your presentation kind of opened my eyes on how, LinkedIn is a strong resource that, we're currently not really utilizing. So I would definitely like to connect and stuff, offline with you as well.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Coach has got my contact info and he could share that. And like I said, anybody could always feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn for sure. That's you can always find me there.
All right.
Yeah, excellent. All right, well, we're gonna take a quick break. Y'all good with about 10 minutes? Be back at 5:30, and then we'll rock out we'll do the goals, clean up that, and we're pushing time. We've gone longer than I thought. Everybody up for a whoosh, right? Danny, you don't know a whoosh. Let me work on this. Everybody else, we're gonna put our right hand up high in the air and just grab all that new information we just learned about how to hijack and how to get that advanced searching going in LinkedIn. We're going to shake out the old stuff we weren't using before, bring our hands together and yell whoosh. 1, 2, 3, whoosh. All right.